Welcome back to SB Nation. I'm Amy K. Nelson, and joining me via Skype right now from our sister site, Outsports.com, is Cyd Zeigler. Cyd, you recently interviewed both former and current NFL players about their personal feelings about having a gay teammate. And you wrote two very compelling stories about that experience. I first wanted to start off with the story about former Green Bay Packers running back Ahman Green. What did Green tell you?
Well, you never know what these guys are going to say when you ask them about gay issues. Ahman Green shocked me. He has a gay brother and a gay sister who came out to him in just the last couple of years. And, I guess whenever you talk to a big time NFL player, you don't expect to hear that. And you don't expect to hear deeply gay positive held beliefs. So he was just so positive, so warm, so welcoming, and really is committed to seeing the end of homophobia in sports. So he could not have been better.
What stood out to you the most from that interview with him?
I think the fact that he has family members, and what we're finding as we talk to more and more people is that so many of these athletes have family members. Whether they're cousins or brothers or sisters or parents. And Michael Irvin, I did an article a year ago about Michael Irvin and his gay brother. So the more we talk to these guys, the more we find this. And I think Ahman Green's the first one to say he has two gay siblings. So I guess that's the big surprise.
A little bit of a watershed moment, I guess. You also spoke to a bunch of other players. Could you sort of give us an idea of who you spoke to and what they told you?
It was more the same. Again, there's a stereotype that football players are deeply homophobic, but every time we talk to them, they say very gay positive things. Jevon Kearse, the freak, who is one of the most physically imposing figures I've ever met, wants to see the end of homophobia in sports, would welcome a gay teammate if he was to make it back to the NFL, and actually lived with his gay cousin for a while recently, and so has no problem with gay people. His former teammate Eddie George said that on their Titans team that went to the Super Bowl, a gay player would not have been a problem. Robert Griffin III, he was the only one who said he has played with a gay teammate before. And I think he's probably the only active NFL player I've spoken to who can say he's played with a gay teammate that he knew of. This is in high school. And again, incredibly gay positive. I would say from the other people I talked to, I think I was most surprised by Trent Richardson. A player from Alabama, you expect the absolute worst. And for him, he just doesn't care if his teammate is gay. He has gay friends. So whether you're Kobe Fleener from the Bay Area or Trent Richardson from Alabama, they are all just incredibly gay positive.
Is that really that rare an experience for you? Have you spoke to other athletes in the past, and have they not been nearly as supportive?
This is what's funny. It's not a surprise, and I don't know why I keep being surprised by this, but it's not a surprise. I talked to various athletes from various sports, and over again, I keep being told, one, they think that football is homophobic, but two, they are not, and they would welcome a gay teammate. And it's this weird phenomenon where they all think that the guy next to them in the locker room hates gay people, but they don't. And the guy next to them really doesn't either. So this is all starting a conversation, and hopefully these guys will start talking about this more and realize it's just not that big of a deal to them.
What do you hope your two articles and the conversations you had with these players this past weekend will engender moving forward?
Well, I think it's unrealistic to believe that these couple of articles will end homophobia in sports and we'll have a wave of athletes come out in the NFL. It's just another step toward that. And I think it's totally realistic for reporters to start asking these questions more and more. We're in the middle of a presidential campaign where President Barack Obama put this issue on the table, and we're going to hear this talked about over and over in debates and in the media. This is, and some of the guys said, this issue is a hot topic right now. And so I hope some of these sports reporters really take the opportunity to start asking questions, because again, there are stories here that they can get readers who are interested in these stories, and they're hot stories.
Well, for more on those two stories, go to Outsports.com and read Cyd Zeigler's pieces on Ahman Green and the other players who spoke on this issue. Cyd, thanks so much for joining us.